my name is Christopher Ricker, New York City Parks environmental educator at the Greenbelt, and today I want to welcome you to our Greenbelt at Home virtual program. It's a time-honored tradition here at the Greenbelt to create a nature craft during the holiday season. And so today we're going to walk you through the step-by-step process to create our own natural wood cookie. This ornament can be hung anywhere in your house during the holiday season. Over here we have our materials, and so we're going to work through each of our materials step by step so that you at home can create your own personal nature craft for the holiday season. So let's get started. Here are the materials you'll need to make this ornamental holiday wood cookie. If you were one of the individuals that picked up a bag at one of our Greenbelt education facilities, most of the items will be present. If you're someone who's watching this video for the first time, these are materials you can either pick up at a craft store or within your own backyard. So let's get started. First, we have our lanyard, and this is what is going to be able to hang your ornament on an object. After that, we have our wood cookie, which we're going to decorate. Over here, we have some moss. You can pick up moss in your own yard within the bag provided or at a craft store. We also have twigs. We have a nut. You can use an acorn, a walnut, or any other material you might want to use for a centerpiece. And for fun, I threw in some extra little leaves and items that I found laying around the office. Now that we have our materials laid out, the first thing we want to do is take our lanyard and our wood cookie. There should be a hole drilled into your wood cookie. And at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to take our string lanyard and we are going to poke it through the hole. If you have any struggle getting it through there, you can use your little twig to push it through, but we didn't seem to have any issue with that. We're going to take the lanyard and I'm going to take our working ends together and I'm just going to do a little basic overhand knot. You can use whatever knot you want to use in order to tie them together, but an overhand knot is pretty simple because you can also pull it and hide it behind your base plate when you're hanging it. For step 2, we're going to need a hot glue gun. This is where adult supervision is required. So I have this little plate here just to protect the surface of the table from this hot glue gun. Other glues can work, but I find that the glue gun is the most effective for this ornament. So now that our glue gun is heated up, I'm going to take our first layer of materials, which are the moss. And we're going to make a little bed on our wood cookie. So the way I like to do this is just taking my hot glue gun and carefully just putting some dots scattered about. Don't have to use too much because the moss itself is a pretty light material. And you can just kind of lay it down. I'm going to throw a little bit extra moss over there. So that's a start. There's a little bit of a blank spot over here, which I want to add some moss to. You can add as little or as much moss as you'd like. If there's another material that you prefer for this back section of your cookie, feel free to use that as well. So now that we have our moss down on here, I want to take one of these leaves because I think they will look quite nice right there. And so again, this time I'm going to put the glue just on the leaf itself, on that little center vein part of it. And I'm going to gently place it right over there. And just kind of hold it for a second and let the glue take. Wow, perfect. What do you all think? I like it. I'm going to take another leaf, this time this little fern, and I'm going to add it on the other side. I'm going to put it over the moss and over the wood cookie a little bit. And this isn't a solid leaf, so I didn't put it directly on the leaf itself. And of course you're gonna battle with the glue a little bit, but I'm just gonna take my branch and pat it down. Nice work. Now that we have our moss and leaves on, the next step is to add our branches. So I'm gonna put another little dab of glue right there. Again, we're gonna continue to make a little bit of a mess, but that's okay because it's part of the creative process. So there's my first branch. And I wanna add another little branch right at the top. Here. Oh, the branch jumped away from me, but I think it found its home. So now we have our two little happy branches attached to our ornament. So finally, we are up to our centerpiece. Here I'm going to use a black walnut, but you can use whatever nut you have at home. I'm trying to decide which way I want to go with it. I like how this kind of looks like a heart, so I'm going to try to have it face outward. I might need a little bit more glue for this one because it is a heavier object. And I'm going to place it right in the center and hold it. Whoa, look at that. Kind of looks like an owl face a little bit. But here we have our wood cookie ornament made of all natural materials. Again, you can use different materials for your wood cookie at home. Here's one I made last year at the Greenbelt using an acorn. Or if you're really into biodiversity, you can get different kinds of nuts and seeds for your centerpieces so you can create a whole biotic community of ornaments.
Hi there! Welcome to the second segment of this holiday craft video. My name is Angel Ehlers and I am also an environmental educator with New York City Parks here in the Greenbelt. And you just learned how to make a really awesome tree cookie craft with Chris Ricker. And what we're going to do is something a little different. We're going to start out by taking a look at this collection of pine cones that I gathered today. And a lot of them look very much the same, but there just might be one that looks a little different. Did you find it? That's right, that's the one! My cute little owl friend. And this is the craft that we're gonna make today, using little pieces of trees and crafting it into an owl, just like some of the owls that you might see here in the Greenbelt, like a great horned owl or a screech owl. So we'll go through the materials first, and then we'll move on to the step-by-step process. In order to craft this incredibly cute owl pinecone friend, you need just a few simple materials that are readily available, starting with a pinecone for the body, some acorn caps for the eyes, some googly eyes for the people who picked up packets. Those are there if you'd like to use them. We use the long scales of pine cones for the wings and the feet. And if you'd like to make your friend into an ornament, you can hang him from some sort of wire, rope, pipe cleaner, or decorative string. We'll also need some scissors to cut those things and a hot glue gun to affix everything together. And of course, with these two, you're gonna have to use a lot of caution and hopefully have adult supervision. So let's get started. We're gonna start off by putting the googly eyes inside of the acorn cap because that is one of the finer processes here and we should do it first before we move on. So we're gonna get our hot glue gun and make sure we have our googly eyes really close by. We're gonna put just a dab of hot glue right in the center. Before that dries, we're gonna prep this to drop it straight down. That might be a little hard because sometimes it likes to flip over when you do that, in which case you can just flip it right back over and try it again. I'm gonna do the same thing to the second acorn cap. Put a little dab of hot glue right at the bottom. Get our googly eye, drop it straight down, and once it's down in there, you can press it gently and secure it in there. Once we have our eyes, we are going to hot glue them onto the body. So you should, before you glue them, try to find a good place where they kind of sit naturally and are even, or however you want them to be. And once you've found that place, then you can get your hot glue gun because you know that you're ready to glue it on. So I'm gonna start by gluing right on this piece of the pine cone because I know that that's where one of my acorn caps was resting. I do that and then gently place the cap in there. Kind of wiggle it to make sure it's snug. Give it just a second for it to dry. Do the same thing on the second one. The second one's a little bit of a challenge here because there isn't a perfect pine cone scale to glue it to. So you have to get a little crafty. Maybe glue it to the side of this one here. Make sure that when you press in your acorn cap that you are picking up that glue that you just put in there. And then make sure you hold it for just a minute while that glue solidifies. And there are your eyes. If they're a little crooked, that's okay. You can either kind of pull them off and redo it or leave them just the way they are. If we look at both of our owl friends, we'll notice that one of them has wings and feet. And so that is the next thing that we're gonna add to this friend. And we're gonna use the scales from long pine cones, and we're also going to be hot gluing them and kind of tucking them in the side. So again, just like with the acorn caps, try to find a nice place where it fits, where you like the way it looks before you put it in there, just so you know that you're on the right track. So that's what I'm going for. And then I'm going to glue right here and right here so that he can kind of sit on it. And that'll help stabilize it if your pine cone happens to have a knob or anything on the bottom. So again, with adult supervision, we're going to carefully use our hot glue gun. And with this, we're going to glue for the wings along the edge, the back end of this here scale. And I'm gonna tuck it right in to where I had it before. And it stays. I'm gonna do the exact same thing on this side. Hot glue the back end. And tuck this wing into this side. You're gonna have to make sure that the hot glue is making contact with one of these pieces of the pine cone body. And there are the wings, with my owl about to take flight. But it's gonna need feet for when it lands, right? So we're gonna do the exact same thing and put the hot glue right on the back end and sort of sit the owl friend right on top of it. Pressing down a little bit to add a little pressure so that glue fixes them together. And then one more time. Sit him down one more time. There we go. So now this owl friend isn't all alone anymore. He has a little buddy.
One.
And now you're pretty much done. If you want your owl friend to just sit on a shelf or a counter or something like that, then you are done and you can just sit him right down. But if you wanted to maybe hang it from a tree or somewhere else in your house, there's just one more step left. And that's where the string, the wire, the rope, and the pipe cleaner, which I'm gonna choose for this portion, come into play. So instead of hanging it from the top, because I think that kind of messes with how cute and beautiful this creature is, we're going to open up that pipe cleaner or rope or string and tuck it right into underneath the pine cone scales. This might take a little bit of wiggling. You wanna make sure that you're not messing with your eyes or your wings or anything like that, but it shouldn't be too difficult to tuck that underneath all the way around. And once you've gotten all the way around to the back, you're gonna come together and twist it about 4 or 5 times so that it will not come undone. and then twist the entire thing loosely so that you end up only working with one piece instead of two. Then you'll gently turn that into a little loop, big enough to attach to whatever you're trying to attach it to. And then the back end will go and wrap right around the loop. And since pipe cleaner is made of wire, that will stick to itself. Once you're all done with that loop, prop it upright, and there you go. You have your hoop, and you can hang this from anywhere you'd like. Congratulations, you did it. You created 2 different holiday crafts with us today, the tree cookie craft and the pinecone owl friend. Thank you so much for joining us, and we would love to see some of your crafty creations. So send some pictures of your progress along to us at sigreenbelteducation@gmail.com. And for more virtual programming that we offer, we have a YouTube channel called the Staten Island Greenbelt. We also have Facebook and Instagram presences. So follow along with us, and we can't wait to see you again. Thank you.